My father has been a transit subway station manager for 35 years. With this job, there's always a manager on duty, so he's worked every shift imaginable. This includes many night shifts, during which most trains are empty. He has many funny and weird night shift stories, but one stands out as particularly horrifying. One night, around 3 a.m., my dad boarded a train to move to another station. He was alone initially, but at the next stop a tall, skinny man wearing a heavy jacket and beanie got on. The man glanced at my dad and then sat in the farthest corner, occasionally looking up at him, making my dad uncomfortable. When my dad's stop came, the man got off too. My dad walked to his office, unlocked the door, and noticed the man pacing around 50 feet away. He locked himself in the office, but 5 minutes later someone tried the doorknob and then started knocking softly. My dad called out and the person replied, "I want to talk." My dad, sensing trouble, told him to go away. He checked the security camera and saw it was the man from the train. The man eventually left and my dad continued his work. Half an hour later he left the office and checked the camera again to ensure the man wasn't around. My dad later went to his third and final station, where he saw the man on the security cameras pacing outside his office. The man stared at the camera for a minute before walking away, never to be seen again by my dad. Around Christmas time, my 3 friends and I were in New York. We didn't leave until about 2 a.m. and boarded the first train we could catch, which was empty. We were mostly sobered up by then. Suddenly, there was a commotion in the next car. We peeked through the glass and saw 2 hooded men standing close to a woman who was screaming for help. I suggested we intervene, but as we got closer, we saw the men were armed. We quickly moved to the next car, but the men followed. We ran through 3 cars before the train stopped. We all split up to hide, and I ended up behind a garbage can. I could hear their footsteps and peeked through the bin. The men were young, one black and the other Indian. I thought they were robbers until I heard one say, "If you find them, kill them." I almost gave away my position in shock but managed to stay hidden. The men left and I ran in the opposite direction, finding my friends hiding behind a pole. We waited until we felt it was safe. The woman from the train, who we thought was a victim, called out to the men, revealing she was part of their plan. We reported it to the police but never found out if they were caught. Number 1. My name is Danny, I'm 22 years old and this is, well, the most horrifying experience of my life. I live and work in New York City, primarily using the subway for transportation. One Saturday night after a party, I was taking the subway home. Suddenly a voice called out, "Over here, buddy!" A filthy man in his 40s was on the tracks, smiling at me with missing teeth. I tried to ignore him but he wouldn't go away. Another man appeared and both invited me into the tunnel. They stared at me without blinking. One man went into the tunnel and returned with what looked like a lifeless face. The approaching train was a relief, but as I neared the platform edge, I saw the men holding a decapitated head. They disappeared as the train arrived. I boarded and planned to warn the conductor. As the train moved, I saw legs on the stairs and a group of men by the tunnel staring at me. I knocked on the conductor's door, explained the situation, and he reported it. It felt like forever until my stop, but when it came, I practically ran. I've since avoided that station, preferring a longer walk to the next one. Be extremely cautious in isolated places like subway stations late at night.